Good morning, or good afternoon, probably when you're watching this, because of Winn, Dixie, folks. So for chapter 13 on page 7, it's going to look a little bit differently than what you are used to. So I thought I'd make a quick video to kind of show you what it should look like. So if you look at the page, the very first thing it says is don't read the chapter yet. So we got to read the instructions before we do that. So it says sometimes we can use predictions to help us understand what is happening in the story. Once you know what is starting to happen, make a guess about what you think will happen next. Then you can see if you're right. So this is all about helping us to understand the story better. So sometimes when we're reading, the story can just get confusing. And then we stop picturing, we stop understanding. And so one way to help us is to stop and think about what's going on in the story and what do I expect to happen next. So the vocabulary words are arranging, which means to put things in order. So if I was arranging your desks, that means I'm moving them around and putting them in a specific order. Ignorant. Ignorant means that you don't know any better, but it's also kind of in a mean way. Right, so if Miss M said, oh, Mr. Daniels sure smells bad today. But what she doesn't know is maybe I got pushed down. Maybe Tylen pushed me into some cow pies. Right, that would be a mean thing for her to say because she doesn't know what happened to me. She was ignorant to that. And then the last one is roundabout. Roundabout means not straightforward. So if I was trying to tell you all that you're in big trouble, but I didn't ever really say it, I just kind of told this big, huge, long story and it was confusing and you didn't know, that would be roundabout. It's not a straightforward way of saying stuff. Okay, so we are on page 87 and it says, the first part of the chapter is about Opal working at the pet store. What do you think will happen? So this is even before I read the chapter, I'm going to think about what do I expect to have happen next. So I know that Opal works at the pet store. So maybe I will say, I expect Opal to walk into the pet store, that Otis is in there singing songs, and so she listens to him sing songs for a little while, and then she sweeps up the floor. That's what I predict will happen, because that's what happened last time she was there. So I would expect something similar. And then with my pencil or pen, I would write down what I expect to happen. So right. I expect Opal walks in, Otis is singing, Opal listens, and then sweeps the floor. Okay? And then the second section says, now read page 87 and the first paragraph of page 88. Were you right? What happened? So I'm going to read that out loud. Me and Winn Dixie got into a daily routine where we would leave the trailer early in the morning and get down to Gertrude's Pets in time to hear Otis play his guitar music for the animals. Sometimes Sweetie Pie snuck in for the concert too. She sat on the floor and wrapped her arms around Winn Dixie and rocked him back and forth like he was a big old teddy bear. And then when the music was over, she would walk around trying to pick out which pet she wanted. But she always gave up and went home because the only thing she really wanted was a dog like Winn Dixie. After she was gone, I would sweep and clean up and even arrange some of Otis's shelves because he did not have an eye for arranging things, and I did. And when I was done, Otis would write down my time in the notebook that he had marked on the outside. 1 red leather collar, 1 red leather leash, and the whole time he did not in any way ever act like a criminal. So then the next section says, were you right? What happened? And I was kind of right? She listened to the music and she cleaned things up. So I write that down. I would say I was part right. She listened to music and she cleaned things up. But Sweetie Pie was there, and Otis wrote down her work. Okay. And then it says to do the same thing for the next part. It says, in the next part of the book, Opal is walking to Mrs. Dump's house when the two mean boys stop to talk to her. What do you think will happen? So again, before I read that section, I would think, okay, what do I expect to happen when Opal sees the Dunlap boys? Well, in the past, they've yelled at each other, and Opal's called them some mean names, and they've called her some mean names. So maybe I would write that down. And then I would read the next section to see if I was right. Okay? So that is what you're doing for your reading time today and tomorrow and the day after that. Okay? So I hope that you're able to do that. If you have any questions as you do it, please call me or text me or email me, and I can help walk you through it. All right? Bye-bye.